I'm number 7. I'm number 7.
Wow, 7 out of.
Yeah, 7.
Oh, you're the youngest. Oh, okay.
I'm number 7 out of 7. Yeah, my mom and dad, my daddy. I don't know a time that my daddy wasn't around. So yes. So yes, my daddy wasn't, my father, whether he was on the ships for the Navy, he was still making it to my track meets and everything else.
Wonderful.
So there's like, yeah, I wouldn't say single household because my daddy was there.
What was
So
there? So wait, elaborate. So you're saying that
there's
he was
still,
still present.
yeah,
So
huh?
he was still present, but was it the
They
two
weren't
parents?
technically together growing up, but I
Okay.
don't know a difference. They're
Oh,
together
gotcha.
now. Look, they're together now. Look,
Like you
my
wasn't
little
sure back then.
my little people, yeah, yeah. But no,
Oh,
I'm a '70s baby, so I grew up with my big family being very creative. There's a gap there. My next siblings, the twins, they're 7.5 years older than me. So I grew up a lot of the times sitting under the dining room table, taking in the family, being my creative self underneath the table. So I heard a lot because I think sometimes they forgot I was there.
oh, yeah. I can imagine all the conversations you had to
Yeah,
listen to. But you say your creative self, so you was creative back then. What so when you mentioned that, how creative were you at that time? Like what made you
I was
creative at that
writing
time?
scripts for cutout paper dolls, and
Oh,
I had the Barbie dolls fighting the Ewok village and stuff like because
oh,
I had toys for days. There
oh,
wasn't a
wow.
time where I didn't have the latest toy or something like that. My parents made sure I had over enough. And I didn't particularly like playing with Barbie dolls the normal way. Like to me they were action figures. So I would line them up with the rest of them. But anybody that played with me, I literally had this is what you need to say. This is what we're doing today. Like I had
So
a
you
whole
was directing already, like pause there, Omega, because I want to know, like, that had to come from, where did that come from? Like, what made you say, because it had to come from somewhere,
I don't
just
know. I was little. I
you
thought that was
just
no. I
directing
thought
people, because you directed people at that time, so you just,
I thought that was
yeah.
normal. I didn't know it was directing.
Really?
I thought that's what everybody did at that age. I mean, I
What?
didn't have I didn't have anything else to go
Who
by.
else was
So
doing that? Who else was doing it around your age? Who else?
I don't know. Me apparently like me and my cousin, me and Tony specifically. He stayed with us off and on, but me and Tony, we used to have whole battles with it. And he was older than me, but but he was closer in age than me than my other siblings. But no, we had it together. And then when my nieces came along, my oldest niece and nephew, they're 6 years younger than me. I had the plan. This is what we're gonna do with with them as well. I thought it was normal. I would put on plays for my family.
Wow,
Like
that's
yeah,
amazing.
we used to play a thing called like Make Me Laugh. No. Shout out to my sister Teresa, who always went along with my shenanigans. Like I had whole Christmas, like when Christmas time came, I had the Christmas plays. This is what we're gonna
What?
do. Yes.
Wow, that is amazing. No, that really is amazing. So that's an innate talent there. So you was like, you were born to do this. So I mean, don't you agree? Like, there was something that had to be
At the
instilled in
time,
you.
I didn't know it. I just thought
Yeah,
that that's normal
you
imagination.
normal,
Normally, what
right?
kids do. But I mean, once I got to school and once I got to high school, I didn't know that this is something that I can actually do. When 10th grade, when we had our communications class, they didn't allow us to touch the camera, but we were
Oh,
supposed to come up
wow.
with the
Okay.
commercial. They
Mm.
they allowed the white folks to touch the camera. They didn't allow us to touch the camera.
Mm,
So like, but I put the commercial together. I wrote it. I directed. I starred in it. Commercial.
really?
Yeah,
So
and
where?
then like when it's yeah,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm
I was gonna
listening.
say when the school had a big medieval play, I wasn't in charge, but I made sure I got the role that I wanted to get in my lines that I get because they weren't about to make me a slave. So
Mm, mm,
I was just outspoken. So
yeah.
yeah,
So no, I want to ask you, where were you born and raised?
Michigan City, Indiana.
Oh, Michigan City, Indiana. Okay. And so at that time when you're just being creative and you could you saying that you were sitting at the table. So is it fair to say that you got some of your scripts and some of your material from the conversation that you heard?
Of course, but I was a reader. But I was a reader too. I read everything,
Okay.
and whatever my mother, like, she watched a lot of National Geographic. The Reader's Digest used to come. I used to read everything. Like, it didn't
Nice.
matter what it was. Like, I was way advanced on my reading at a young age. So my mind and my expansion, like, I got books as gifts for
Oh,
Christmas and
nice. I love
birthdays
it.
and stuff like that, as part, as well as other stuff. So yeah, the
I love it.
creativity is there.
Ah, wow, I love that. Yes. So now, so let me also ask you, because I before we get into the elementary, junior high school phase, I want to know, like, what are some of the other memories other than, you doing your whole, you had a whole production thing going on, without even realizing that you were so innovative in the whole having a production company already, it just wasn't a name or it wasn't established yet, but that's what it was. So at that time, like, what is some of the other things you could think of? Because I always use a reference, like, because there were some people that have more humbling backgrounds, as there's some that have more well-to-do backgrounds, like whether you ration out food or you have bunk beds, you had the pallet on the floor, a whole bunch of cousins in the house, in and out.
Oh, we
Did
were
you
we were the family that took care of other people. My mother, she's
okay.
always giving. It's because she came from an even bigger family. My grandmother had 20 kids.
Ooh,
So for my mother
ooh,
having seven, that was
ooh.
nothing to her.
Right, right.
So my mother is the mom that helped the whole neighborhood. We had a very, very large garden out there. So
Oh,
I
gardening.
don't know what struggle is, because we just went outside and we picked and we gardened and we did everything that we needed to do out there. Like, I went outside and I got my food. So,
Nice. I
and
love
I
it.
used to show my friends around the neighborhood, like, I knew who had the peach tree, I knew who had the grapes, I knew who had the strawberry. I would take my friends around the neighborhood, like, hey, let's go get some food. Let's go do this. And that wasn't because it wasn't food in the house. It was just because I wanted something
But
else.
yes,
And I
yes,
would take them around the neighborhood and do stuff like that. I mean, it was the 80s and stuff like that, crack epidemic. That stuff
yes.
happened around us, and I saw a lot of stuff, but that wasn't what my household was.
Yeah, it was more, so you had like more, healthier choices at that time that we don't have, like, today. So that is
Yeah.
amazing though. So you had other, like, other people within your neighborhood that had fruit trees and growing vegetables as well?
It was some
Uh,
people that had around the neighborhood and the other neighborhoods we weren't supposed to go into, but I didn't care. I was going and getting it anyway. I was, because the way I grew up in Michigan City back then, it was still a little bit segregated, even though they would swear that it wasn't. But like, black people were in these little pockets. I would go to those other pockets and risk
Mm,
them coming
ooh.
outside acting a fool, but I still got those peaches.
You was determined to get those peaches. You wasn't playing. You wasn't playing about those peaches. So,
Yes, yes. No, I
wow.
didn't care.
Right. So I'm glad you were able to live to tell the story, Miss Keys. I'm glad you're able to. Yeah. So let me go into the relationship with your father, because you said that he was still present. And you couldn't tell
No,
you
I'm
couldn't
a
tell
daddy's
by the
girl.
dynamic. Yeah,
I
you're a
look like my
daddy's
mama, but
girl.
I'm a daddy's girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yes, I love it. I love it. And so what's some of the most fondest memories that you have with your dad?
My track meets, when my dad used to show up with the bag of oranges. And it's funny because I never ate the oranges because I couldn't eat when I ran track, but the rest of the track team got it, and they have those fond memories of my father. I knew he was going to show up with those oranges, and it was
Oh,
just, one of those things. Or I remember my dad, when he used to be stationed on the Great Lakes, and that was still Chicago's, that area is still close to where we were on the Indiana side. But I remember when I used to see him drive up, and he used to step out in his all white uniform from the Navy.
oh, okay,
Those are some
okay.
of my fondest memories from my dad. But like, all my memories, is because everything is special because my dad is 91 years old. So
No, that's
every memory
amazing.
to me is
Wow.
so special,
That is
because
amazing.
I don't there wasn't a time he like wasn't there. I was a track star, so he was, yeah, him and my mom very, very present. So yeah.
And so what, because I know a lot of times, especially when you're a daddy's girl, you know that there's always friction between daughters and moms. So was that the case? No, was it the case for you and your
No,
mom?
I didn't have friction with my mother until
Older.
I was pregnant. I was a teen
Oh,
mom and I was pregnant, but it's not what you think. The friction was there because I was mad at my mom because I was a victim of rape and nobody asked me what happened. I was mad at my mom for what happened to me just because she she just accepted me being pregnant but never asked what
like
happened. And
about
that's
your
not my
traumatic.
mother's fault or nothing, but it was just the fact that that to her, when we had our conversation, it was like, girl, anyway, you got you got one, I got seven, my mama got 20.
Mm,
Who cares? It was just that type of
right,
acceptance
dismissiveness.
into it
Mm,
versus
mm,
getting to the root of it. And so like I shut up for 7 years.
mm,
I still talk to her, but I wouldn't talk about
that.
that. Yeah, and so nobody knew until 7 years later.
Oh my goodness. Oh, can we please bookmark that? Because I definitely want to get back to that. By
Mhm.
the way, can we? I want us to bookmark that. Yeah. And I'm sorry that happened. By the way, yeah, I'm sorry to hear
Oh,
about
it's
that.
okay. It is what it
Yeah, but
is.
I definitely wanted.
I still got that track scholarship. I still went to college. My son is amazing. He's amazing, amazing and kind human. So I
Yes,
don't care.
yes. Shout out to your son. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we definitely gonna talk about that though, because there's some key things I want to kind of discuss with you with when we get to that point. But so we're going into, like I said, the elementary, junior high school phase, because like I said, not enough is talked about, because that those are pivotal times, and we don't really um a lot of times we don't understand the level of self-discovery that's involved in the elementary, junior high school phase. So I
Okay.
always have, so I want to know, like, I want to know
Okay.
more about, because we always discover like self-discovery, whether it's acne, puberty, humping in the staircase.
You still
Yeah,
still
I like to use that one.
girl.
Yeah, I
I
like to use that one. So I just want to know, what was your experience between junior high and high school? Were you involved in any extracurricular
well, it was a big I get where you're
yeah,
going. It was a big change
extracurricular
for me
activities.
from
Yeah, and
it.
were you a shy girl, popular girl? Like, just kind of give me the
Okay. It was a big transition for me from elementary school to public school. I mean, to junior high school because I begged, I wanted to run track like my sister before me. So I went to a Lutheran elementary school. So I had to beg and cry and plead, snot nose crying everywhere to allow me to go to a public school, which is where
mm.
I was able to run track. However, getting to that public school, it was a big transition for me because when I got there, they didn't even look at my report card. They just kind of stuck me in the classroom with the rest of all the black kids, which is they
So
were
you
we
had,
were in, and
so you
it's
had,
so crazy because the population of our
oh,
school 5% black, but you put me in this classroom and it was nothing but
so it
black
was
students in this
segregation at
classroom.
that time, or you what? That was segregation. Oh,
No, it was we were integrated, but there were still certain things that
yeah,
they
there
do.
was.
Even
It don't
even
sound like
today,
it. Yeah.
they still do these things when they'll put all the black kids in one class, and it still happens. It's that. So when I got to their school, they put me in this class, and it was a math class. And when I looked at the paperwork, I'm like, I knew this in the third grade. And the classroom was so loud and it was so disruptive. I asked to go to the principal's office. I went down to the principal's office and I was like, I don't belong in this class. I do not belong here. Something is wrong. I was like, I know 5 + 5. I'm like, I was already on algebra. Something is
Wow.
wrong with this course. So they were like, well, that's where you belong. I said no, and I pulled out my report card. I didn't know that how this worked, but I knew I didn't belong there. So I pulled out my report card for the Lutheran school, and so I got placed into the other classes, and the other classes was more like my Lutheran school where I only had one or two black people up in my classes. And it's nothing against the other black students at all. It's not their fault. It's not anything. But I knew I
Right.
was
You
I
didn't
was
want to get
raised
stuck where you didn't
I was
belong.
raised by an advocate.
Yeah,
So when it came, like I'm typically a quiet person until there's some injustice.
absolutely.
So like, no, we're not doing this. So I got removed out of it. So I had to fight that battle alone. But then, that caused some friction with some of the students in that class. One of the people, I was very close friends with one of the people, but her and I had never went to school together. And she was one of the people in that class. So she wanted to fight me after that.
Fight you?
Fight me
Oh.
because that came off like I felt like I was too good,
Oh, oh,
that
okay.
that type of stuff. But look, just because I went to that private school didn't mean I can't lay hands. So
Don't get it twisted, right? Yeah, don't
so
get it
that's when I
twisted.
started getting into, I had to start fighting, I had to start doing other stuff. But once I started running track, a lot of people left me alone. But also once they found out I had these hands, they left me alone too.
Right,
Like, okay,
right.
yeah. Like
Yes.
I used to, because I learned the hard way fighting with my brothers. So
Yeah, so you had
it's
no choice but to let them make them understand that don't let this fool you. Don't let right.
yeah.
So because I'm like, because why even the bully thing is just like, come on now.
No, yeah, I got threatened. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
when I first started running track, I got threatened one time. It was like the third track meet. Somebody told me like if I beat their sister, they're gonna beat me up. I said, well, both of y'all gonna get beat
Yeah.
because I didn't lose that race.
Yeah. So that's like F around and find out.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's one of those.
Yeah.
It's one of those moments. So that's how junior high school was
Yeah.
to me. But at lunch, I was out there jumping double dutch with my friends on our lunch break, and then back to the books and back to the different classes.
Right. So
You
did you hump in
know,
the staircase?
huh?
Did you hump in the staircase?
No,
No.
I wasn't doing
She
none
said,
of that.
she said
That's what
no. Oh,
that.
because
Yeah,
I
no
asked the
more.
men
We
that, so I
wasn't.
said, ask the ladies that too. I
No,
said, ask the men.
no. That's why what happened to me later on. That was something different. Wasn't none of that going on. So no, I was about my books, and yeah.
Yeah, she's like, no. Yeah, I didn't mean no offense, Miss Keys, because
I
I could tell by
I
your
wasn't
reaction.
offended by that at all. Look, I
Oh,
was
okay.
I was too busy being shocked by this girl at school that looked like my twin. Come to find out, she was my sister. So that's a whole different story.
Yeah, can you elaborate, please?
Well, she's
Uh,
she's my sister by my biological father. So yeah.
oh, okay, okay. So all right. So when did you find that out? I mean, that around that time, around junior high.
Yeah. When I went home and I told my mama that this girl looked just like me, she said, "Oh, that's your sister."
Oh,
Like it
okay.
was nothing. She was like, "You don't remember?" But apparently we used to always be around each other when we were little, but I don't remember. But no, I started going over, their house and whatever. And I have other
Right.
siblings.
Okay, I was about to ask you that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how
And
many?
they're all younger than me.
So how
But
many
yeah,
altogether you have? You said you know you have 7.
seven by my mom and then five by my biological father.
Wow. Oh yeah. So you have a huge family unit. Yeah. So but
So that
how
became my best friend.
yes. I wanted to ask you. So, how was it like blending everyone in? Like, how was the merging process?
It wasn't no different. It's like
Is it
anybody else. Like you gotta
anybody else?
understand,
Yeah.
my house always had people rotating through it. So yeah, me and my being that sister became close because we were close in age. So we ended up being, very close. It
Yeah.
wasn't,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. To me in my life, weirder stuff, I've seen weirder. So that
Oh,
wasn't a
oh
shock to
yeah.
me.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I have other sisters too, because my older sisters and siblings, they have a different father. Like I said, there was a 7 year gap from my mother's first marriage. There's other siblings there too. So it's no different than me. And here's the thing. I'm saying sister because we don't do that half and all that other
Me either.
stuff. So
Mm-mm,
there's
me
there's
either.
no difference for me. My
Yes.
my other I'm just doing it just for a distinction now.
Sure. Sure.
But Keela and all them, those are my sisters too. So
And I love
yeah,
that.
there's
Yeah,
no distinction.
yes, I love that for all of you. Yes,
Yeah,
I'm the same way. Like, there's no halves here. Like, my full blood siblings or my full blood siblings. Bottom line. So yes,
yeah.
I get exactly where you're coming from. So thank you for sharing that with me, as well as the junior high school, elementary memories as well. So, what high school did you go to?
I went to Elson High School.
Elston High School. Okay,
Yeah.
so now oh, okay. I forgot. I meant to ask you before we get right into high school. I want to know, what was your self-discovery process? What did you what was your self-discovery in elementary, junior high school, or did you remember at that time? the self
I think I
discovery?
was always self-aware at a very young
Yeah.
age.
Mhm.
Yeah, from having older siblings. I think during junior high school, the biggest thing for me was I went through this big transition of my. There was, like I said, I was coming out of the crack epidemic, whatever, and
Mhm.
it's not like my family was untouched from that. I had brothers that went to jail, all sorts of things then. So that was like the discovery then,
Got
seeing a
you.
lot of that, seeing the neighborhood. I'll say this, seeing the neighborhood ravished from where it used to be a middle class neighborhood to it being completely ravished by crack. That was it
Yes.
was, didn't have anything to do with school, but going to school and staying focused while all of that was happening.
Got it. And so now when you get into transitioning into high school, what was the self-discovery process, at that time, transitioning into high school?
I was like, I became the true track star because I ended up being the person that I was the first person in my town that had won state outside of a swimmer from the 60s. Other people had went to state, but nobody had won state. And I'm talking about across all sports. So
Okay.
winning the state meet at 15 years old,
Nice.
more attention being on me, like all eyes were on me at all times then. Like it's carrying the weight of the city on me from then on. So, at one point I had a big friend group, but I was still a floater. Like I was the type of person I can go hang out with anybody. So yes, I had this one main big friend group, but I'm the type of person that I hung out with everybody as well.
Like it. Okay. So you're very
So
interpersonal.
yeah,
Okay, wonderful.
yeah,
And so you say that you was like this track star. Did you feel that pressure on you? You know?
absolutely.
Yeah. At the how
Absolutely.
did
It
you
was a whole lot of pressure. I mean, like I said, I felt like I was carrying the weight of the city and especially
right.
specifically the weight of the Black people in my city. So a lot of weight was put on me to be perfect. There were times like, I would try to go to like house parties and stuff like that. I will get there and people, I'm talking about older people, would be there at the party. And when I say older, it's like people that just graduated from high school. They'll come over to me and they'd be like, "Hey, you need to get up out of here. Stuff about to pop off."
Mm.
So, you know,
Okay, so they
everybody
looked out for
kind of,
you.
yeah, they looked out for me, but it was also we could be walking home from school and and we have to from my high school walking home, we would pass all the white neighborhoods before we got to the Black neighborhoods. So like when the police wanted to jump out and harass everybody, it's like they jumping out, they harassing people, then they look at me, they were like, "Oh, that's the track star. You
Mm.
good, go home."
Wow.
So seeing that, it was just kind of off, and I'm going home and I'm having these
Wow.
conversations with my mother, and
Wow. So the community was protective of you.
yeah,
Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah. So when you during the times you're track star, how did you juggle being a track star? Having that sporting extracurricular activity as well as academia. How did you manage or juggle both?
it was normal to me.
It was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a juggle. I'm a nerd, so
Right. Yeah, I know you be reading
yeah,
encyclopedias. Yeah, I
yeah,
forgot about
so
that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, me, that was nothing to me. Like in the summertime, I used to play school for fun. So that was
Mhm.
that was no doing both. It was never a problem for me. I didn't see it as juggling. I saw that as normal.
You saw it as, okay, the best of both worlds. Okay, no, I get it. So let me
Yeah.
ask you, so this is why I wanna kind of, now we get into the bookmark discussion. So because when did that shift for you? When did that shift happen?
That happened. It was my junior year when it happened. It was right before I went to the state meet like that year. It was an out of body experience. I blanked out and almost didn't recognize myself from that time period.
Mm,
Like I completely, like, to me, it happened and I completely like shook it off and went about things as if normal. Like I didn't find out I was pregnant until I was 6 months. Like my body
mm.
didn't even process it, recognize it, or nothing. Like I literally went for a physical for volleyball, and that's when I found out.
Wow. That is crazy.
And everybody, we know, me and the nurse, I mean, it was a licensed nurse practitioner. We were trying to figure it out how, and she just broke down crying because like everybody in the city knew me.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she was just like, you know, I started getting the judgment from adults then of
Right.
being a statistic, of being all this other stuff. And, you know, I just let them, at that point, I just let them feel think whatever they wanted to think. I didn't care. I didn't care what nobody else think. My focus was, okay, you told me that this baby is due in December. All right, bet. I know that's winter break. I go back to school. I can still run track. I'll be fine when conditioning starts. That's like where my brain immediately went.
So it was just like for you, it was just like, okay, well, okay, this is a fragile time in my life, but it's still gonna be business as usual once everything takes place.
It
Like
was
it's still
it
gonna
was fragile, but it was so normal in the community for stuff like this to happen to.
okay.
I've seen teen moms. I've seen other stuff, you know. I've seen other stuff happen to other girls, but we weren't processing it as really rape at the time. We're like, this stuff happens, and
So you thought, I mean, so
but
that's
I was
and that's
angry.
like,
I was angry. I was
oh,
angry.
because I was going to say it
I
was
was
like,
I was mad at the world, but I was also determined.
yeah, okay, got you. And so, when this whole thing, as I don't want to dwell too much into it, I don't want you to, revisit that, but I just was curious about like your reaction towards it, and was there any charges pressed? Like what
You
you
have to
know?
talk in order for charge to be pressed. I didn't speak for 7 years.
Oh, right, right.
I didn't talk about it for
Yeah.
7 years. Like I just act like it didn't happen.
So he wasn't held, he wasn't accountable for it.
No, but
Mm,
years later when I wrote Rise and Fall of a Track Star, some other people reached out to me and let me know that he did the same thing to them.
mhm.
And that book helped them when I wrote it, and it let them feel like they weren't alone. Some people from my hometown told me that it happened to them as well. So
Oh, so wonderful. So you wrote a book based on it. So that was inspiring for others to speak out. So
yeah.
they kind of, gave kind of gave you they I mean, when I say that their voices work through you, or you work through them. I'm trying to
I
piece it
mean,
together.
it wasn't,
Yeah, that, like you gave them
it was
you
just
gave them their voice. You
yeah,
gave
it
them their
was just a
voices.
blip
Yeah.
in that book. It wasn't about that, but I talked about it in there. So hey,
Right. But that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. But you still gave them, that's what they needed, to give them
yeah.
their voices. So that's why I was wondering now that person. No, I won't even call him. I'm gonna call
I
him
don't know
a person.
nothing about him. I don't care.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
It
Oh,
ain't
okay.
my that ain't my cross to bear. That's
Yeah,
something
because
that my
I
family
don't even
don't.
want to call him a
No,
person. I don't want to even get
it,
the satisfaction to call him a him. I was
no,
gonna
it
say,
doesn't define. It
yeah.
don't define nothing about me. I
Mm-mm.
don't dwell on it. I've
Yeah.
been to therapy. I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you're good, but I mean, but don't just gloss over that Omega, because it's not something that.
No, but this is the thing is
Yeah.
I'm 51 years old. Well, almost 51 this month. I've worked through it. I'm good. So it's like you may think it's glossing over, but we've already been down this road so numerous
Yeah.
times. So
Miss
it's no, yeah.
Stevie. Yeah, that's Miss Stevie. Yeah, I don't know if you were able to see the comments or not.
Yeah, I see it. Yes.
Oh, okay. And she's
Hey.
loving your red lip.
Oh, thank ya.
Yeah, so but I'm just glad you was able to rise above it. But let me if you don't mind me asking, Omega, let me ask you, what made you decide to move forward with the pregnancy? Because most people
I didn't find out
wouldn't.
till I was 6 months pregnant. It wasn't no choice.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah. By the time I found out, and my family, they don't believe in adoption. My mama took care of strays all the time. And like I said, my mama, her thing with it was like, girl, please, you got okay, and you got one, and it
Right,
was
right.
that at the end of the world, like she's still doing everything she wanted to do at the time that was possible. I still go do what is no okay. You
So
still go and be successful.
so you said you were silent for 7 years. So when you did decide to break that silence? Like, what was the response like for you? Was your mom still dismissive? Was your mom
Oh no,
like, oh,
I snapped out. It was a particular situation that made me snap the hell out. One of my sisters, she went out of her way to, because my people knew once my son got older who the father was.
oh, did
It
they?
was it was obvious. So they went out of their way. One of my other relatives got in touch with him and did this whole thing, contacted my sister to have him, meet my son. And it's like
Wait a minute. Without you knowing?
a lot of things. Hey, when you the youngest, you're still treated like a baby.
Yeah, yeah, but still,
So by
that's
this
still,
time I was in the
yeah,
military, I
that's
was home, visiting. He showed up. I lost it.
right.
And yeah, I lost my mind and everything. So that's when everything come out. But it also, at that time, I had been treating one of my brothers a little differently, and like so, all of that came. It was a moment that my brother found out why I had distanced myself from him, because he was the same skin tone as
Mm,
that person, and
master
I didn't
key.
know that I had subconsciously started treating my brother
Projecting.
differently
Mhm, mm.
because of it. Yeah, but so like it was a big he and my brother was more hurt at finding all of this out at that time than anything. And so that's what pulled me out of the rage and losing my mind, seeing my brother cry.
Mm.
But I
But
had no, it was not pretty.
right. Yeah, because I mean, you had all I mean, like I said, you had all of that. 7 years, that is
Yeah.
a long time. I mean, to not
And,
eat to just accumulate all of that anger, emotions, hurt,
and you have to
all of those
understand,
things.
I was the quiet sibling. The only person back then that I would argue with my brother is my brother Maurice. Me and Maurice used to, because Maurice used to antagonize and we used to fight. So that's the only person I had even ever raised my voice with. So when I tell you I cussed out everybody and the whole
Mm.
block, probably the whole neighborhood probably heard me. I look, I can do a read, baby. I can do the dozens. And I went down the
Oh, I wish
list,
I could. Oh, you
down the list. Everything I thought, felt, yeah.
yeah, usually everyone have it.
Yes.
Wow. So Omega, so how old were you at the time when you had your son?
I was 17.
So you were 17. So let me go into how did you manage as a teen mom? And just kind of I want you to kind of
I didn't have to. My mother.
oh, okay.
I
Okay.
didn't have to. It was
So you
like I
and oh,
did.
that's why you're still able to keep it moving. Okay.
Yeah, because I got a
Yeah.
scholarship to college. I did all of the other stuff. My mother and my older sister Hazel stepped in to help
Be that support
along the way.
system.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know they was like, look, you're gonna move forward with your
But I do
okay.
want to say this. I suffer from what is it? After you have a baby post
Postpartum.
I suffer from postpartum really bad, and I want to shout out to my niece Angie, because um Angie's like a sister to me. That first year with my son, I had no connection. Like I
Mm,
wouldn't hold him, I wouldn't do anything, I would push him away from me.
yeah,
Angie
yeah.
stepped in and was giving him the love and everything that he needed, but it was because I was scared I was going to hurt him.
Mm.
Like I was so scared that if I ever touched him, that
I
I was
was thinking
going to harm him.
Omega, you know what I was thinking that, the reason why you didn't have that connection also because, you being so young and also
No,
how he's
it,
perceived, how he's
no,
perceived. So
absolutely. It was
yeah,
all of it. I
yeah,
had definitely some mental issues going on.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, understandably so,
Yeah.
and so you move forward. So with the help of with your mom and your sister, you were able to move forward with with the scholarships. And what college did you go to?
I went to Indiana State.
Indiana State, and studying what?
Pre-law.
Oh, really? And why?
Because I was a nerd. Because I didn't know that going into to science or all of that stuff was an option. So I only knew about lawyers and doctors and stuff like that. So
So
pre-law
would
it
you?
was. But
Oh,
I wanted to be an advocate for helping disenfranchise. I seen too many black people being locked, black men being locked up, black boys being
Yes.
locked up. So I wanted to be able to help, and so that's why I did it.
Okay, because I was going to ask you, would it be fair to say, like, if you weren't in the space that you're in right now in the industry, would that be your occupation if you wasn't in film?
No, I
A
found out
filmmaker?
once I got into it that I hated it. I
Okay.
loved the knowledge of it, but I absolutely hated everything about it.
Everything
It's,
about it.
and it's
Yeah.
because they kept trying to push me into. I was one of the few black people in these classes because they tried to stick me into criminology, um, but they tried to stick me on to being like that I would be court appointed or lawyer or working at, they were trying to push me more into corrections and
Mm.
stuff like that. And that's not where I wanted to
Yes,
be.
but that's not the field you wanted. Okay, yes,
No.
yes.
So that just made me hate it. So that's why when I graduated, I went to the military.
Okay, so when you graduate, so you got a law. I mean, what degree did you have? What
It's pre-law,
it was
bachelor's,
pre-law. It was back. Okay,
bachelor of science. It's still in
okay.
the
Because I
school
know
of
I was
science.
asking because I
Yeah.
didn't know whether you changed your major or not. That's why I
No,
asked.
I didn't change my
Yeah,
major. I just hated
you
it.
just switched. You just endured it until the end. Well, no,
Yeah.
congratulations. Well, congratulations for you sticking it out, Omega. Even though it was not something you wanted to do, but you stuck it out. Okay. And you said you went, and so in the military, what branch?
I went into the Air Force first, but then I finished up in the Army.
And okay, so what made you decide to make that transition? Because that is a
Because no, I
yeah.
didn't know when I went into the Air Force that I could have went in as an officer.
Okay.
So
Oh, right. Because
I
you
already had
there's
a
a
degree.
special. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know I could have went in as an officer. So then I found the loophole and I switched over to the Army.
Oh, okay.
And then I went to
And,
OCS and everything from there. So
and what was your rank? What did you leave with? What rank did you leave with?
technically a E6 by way of captain. It's a whole other story that I'm
Mm.
not about to get into
No, no,
behind
right. We don't have to. You don't have
that.
to.
Yeah, 'cause
I
that's a
was
whole
just
different monster.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was just, cause I'm just trying to establish, the chronological thing, trying to establish, what led up to, the
Mhm.
different phases in your life. So I'm interested in that, and I love to hear it. So yeah,
No, no,
I'm
no, no,
very
it's no problem.
intrigued.
But
I'm very
yeah.
intrigued, Omega. That's all. I'm
No,
so
no, no, that's
intrigued.
fine. Just not going too
Yeah.
deep into that side. Yeah.
Right. No, no, I get. I don't want to. I don't want to get deep. Yeah, yeah. But no. But I'm so proud of you. To be able to be that inspiration to especially coming from being from a teen mom and just unfortunately being a teen mom due to those traumatic events that happen and to still be able to move forward and,
It's called a
into where you
support
are
system.
the
Yeah.
support system and that too of course I mean that goes without saying that you can't do it alone, you cannot do this
No,
alone.
no,
So
no, no. But
let me challenge you real quick, Omega. I'm going to challenge you to speak to these speak to the high school girls, and we got some high school students. They're somewhere around, but they're high school students. And I'm talking about women and men, high school, because we have young men in the same space with you as well, same space with us. So can you do a little bit of pouring into those students who are in high school and may have some of the self discoveries that you have, and they are trying to figure themselves out. They are having these experiences. Some of them are teen parents as well. So can you just kind of do a little pouring into those students?
yeah, one of my biggest things is like what I'll tell my own children, my boys growing up, they're adults now, but don't be a follower. Don't go with what you want. I don't care if it's something as simple as y'all going to the movies with a group of people. You want to see one movie and they want to see everything else. Go see the movie you want to see. Be that individual. Don't be scared to speak up for yourself. Stand up for what's right, even when it's hard. And don't ever feel like you can't get it done no matter what your circumstances are. Find a way to make it happen. You guys are in the age of technology.
Yes.
Use it to your advantage. And you know, that's what I said there. If you have a baby, so what? You're not the first and you won't be the last.
Mm.
Yeah, make it happen. Use the tools,
Yes.
use the tools
Yes.
at your disposable disposal to make
Yeah.
it happen. There's programs out there to help you,
Mhm.
whatever, make it through. I remember I used to be one of the kids that used to be in the DARE program, going to the schools and talking. And then I just remember when I was pregnant, they snatched me up out of it. Like, oh my gosh, I'll put a stain on it. I was like, if anything, I was
Wow.
kind of more the person that they need to see because I'm still doing it, but whatever, sucks for them. Yeah. But no,
Right.
just
Yeah, they just
don't.
yes.
Yeah, and I would say this: stop letting people who aren't doing what you want to do talk you out of it, because people will talk
Yes.
you out of doing something. If I was you, well, glad they not.
Right. Well, like exactly, you're not me. Right. There we
Yeah,
go.